how's it going? I'm sitting from Phonedog.com, and as you probably guessed from the title, this is a review of the Motorola Droid from Verizon. What? No, I'm just kidding. It's actually a dogfight between the LG View Plus from AT&T and the Samsung Reality from Verizon. See, I got the Verizon part right. But anyway, yeah, two popular messaging devices. They both have physical keyboards, as you can see. Both have 3-inch touchscreen displays, 3-megapixel camera, but there's also a couple of differences too. The LG View Plus has a capacitive touchscreen, while the Samsung Reality has a resistive touchscreen display. So we're going to put them head to head, see how they compete when they're put up against each other. Then you can decide which one you prefer. This is just to help you guys out in case you're trying to decide. But anyway, Samsung Reality from Verizon, LG View Plus from AT&T. I'm Cindy from Phonedog.com. Let's go check it out. Okay, so on the left side here we have the LG View Plus from AT&T, and on the right side is the Samsung Reality from Verizon. Now, just matching phone to phone as far as physical features, you'll see on the main display here you still have the call or send button, the end and power button, and then these both function as the back button. On the left side of each device, this is a little different because the Reality's unlock button or screen unlock button is on the left side, whereas on the View it's on the right side right there. Not a big deal. And then volume rocker still right there. Again, the charging port is switched. This is a micro USB charging port for the Reality. The charging port for the View Plus is on top. Both micro USB. So there's a volume rocker on both. And then the task menu button, which the Reality doesn't have. And then on the right side, you both have a camera shutter button, a couple other shortcut buttons on the Reality for a speaker or voice search, and then a micro SD card slot. As far as memory goes, the View Plus has 50 megabytes of internal memory built in, and the Reality has 128 megabytes, but they are both expandable up to 16 gigabytes with a micro SD card slot. So the View Plus does have more, the Reality has more memory, but they're both expandable using a memory card. Now, as far as dimensions go, they're pretty much the same thickness you'll see here. The View Plus is a bit taller, so let me line them up like that. The View Plus is just a bit taller, it's 4.31 inches in height, whereas the Reality is only 4.23 inches in height. But as far as thickness goes, they're about the same. Also width, they're about the same too, both being about 0.6 inches wide. Now, going back to the main display here, they both have a 3-inch touchscreen display with the same resolution, 240 by 400. The main difference is that the View Plus's touchscreen is capacitive, whereas the Reality has a resistive touchscreen. You do have 3 home screens. You can see here the View Plus has home screens for contacts, widgets, and then shortcuts, whereas the Reality has 3 home screens, but you can use, I guess, whatever you would want them for. So if you want to have whichever widgets on each screen, it's open for that, and then you have your widget drawer right there. I will say there are definitely more options for widgets on the Reality than there are on the View Plus, which is something that disappointed me about the View Plus, because you have an entire page dedicated to widgets. You can even scroll down a bit if you want to, but there are very few widgets available. You only have 7, and 3 of those 7 are clocks. You have a dual clock, an analog clock, and this digital clock. So that's 8. So you definitely don't have very many widgets available, whereas with Samsung's TouchWiz interface, there's definitely more options for having an alarm, a birthday reminder, Bing search, just definitely a lot more widgets available on the Reality as opposed to the View Plus. Now, getting to touchscreens, even though the View Plus has a capacitive touchscreen, which in theory is better than a resistive touchscreen, I really didn't see it performing better as far as scrolling, selecting different things goes. It's not up to par to other capacitive touchscreens that I've used. So, if you were just to compare capacitive to resistive, you would say that capacitive would win. But in this case, performance was about the same on both. in my testing, it wasn't, the capacitive screen on the LG View Plus wasn't really any better. But you do have a 3-inch screen on both. Now again, going to different physical features on the back, you have the camera on both. The Reality has a 3.2 megapixel camera with flash with no flash, but with a self-portrait mirror. The LG View Plus has a flash with a 3 megapixel camera. So a little bit different there at 3.2 megapixel compared to 3.5 megapixel. One interesting thing, I'll go here to compare some pictures that I took, and the View Plus definitely has a better camera. So let me go to the menu here and we'll compare pictures. Also, both phones do capture video. So I'll also show you guys a video sample so you can see which one is better. Go to Media, Picture and Video, My Pictures. You'll see a little bit different interface there, of course, because this is using LG's standard feature phone interface, and of course Samsung's TouchWiz interface. So let me go here first to this picture I took. This is an outside picture. It was taken on the same day with the same lighting conditions, and we'll flip both into portrait mode or landscape mode. Okay, and if we get a close-up shot here, I may have to zoom out a little bit. Let me see if I can get them both on the screen at the same time. Okay, so kind of, getting a closer look at these pictures, you'll definitely notice this is the View Plus on top, and this is the Reality on the bottom. And you'll notice that the View Plus definitely captured the color better. Getting a little closer to the picture, the quality is also better when it comes to detail, whereas the Reality kind of washed out the colors a bit, and also the detail isn't as good. You may not be able to tell from this video, but there's definitely better detail on the View Plus compared to the Reality, and also you can just see from here the color is definitely better on the View Plus. So let me go to a couple of other pictures. We'll compare those. Okay, so these are 2 more pictures that I took on the same day, again with the same lighting conditions. This is a picture taken inside of a plant, and you can see again the View Plus just captured the color definitely a lot better. Now when it comes to web browsing, both were about the same. The Reality had a problem loading sites that were not that wasn't the mobile page of that website. I'm not really sure why. It had problems with Phonedog's website, but when I loaded Phonedog's mobile site, it loaded just fine. It was the same with other websites too. So, but speeds were about the same. Of course, you're on AT&T's network and Verizon's network. Data speeds and coverage, or data speeds, are just going to depend on your coverage, as well as call quality. It's also going to depend on coverage from AT&T and Verizon in your area. Here in Dallas, they were both about the same. I got pretty good data speeds, and also call quality was fine. Moving on to some multimedia, they both have music players. Now, one major difference is that the Reality has a 3.5mm headphone jack, whereas the View Plus doesn't. It does have this micro USB port. You'll have to get some headphones for that because they don't come in the box. Neither one of them come with headphones, but at least you have that 3.5mm headphone jack as opposed to the micro USB. So, also with media, the LG View Plus comes with mobile TV. The Reality also has VCast music, VCast video. The VCast music comes with Rhapsody, and so multimedia is about the same. You do have TV features for both, although I don't think that VCast video is quite as comparable to the mobile TV that comes on the LG View Plus. It's definitely a feature that makes the View Plus stand out. It is a service that you'll have to pay for. It's $10 a month, but VCast is also a service that you'll have to pay for as well. Okay, so moving on to the main point of these phones. They're messaging phones, so they both have these physical keyboards. So the major difference in these keyboards isn't so much the way they're set up, but just the way that they feel. The View Plus is definitely more plasticky, whereas the Reality's keys are more grippy, more tactile. The View Plus is more like chiclet style. I don't know if you can hear that. See, it's a little louder, whereas the Reality See, you can hear the beeping, but you can't really hear the button going down or being pressed. So that's the main difference. Let me close this. So that's the main difference, just the style of the keys. They're both set up in a grid format, and you have navigational arrows on both of them. You also have your backspace, enter. So there's a lot of similarities. The View Plus does have these shortcut keys that the Reality doesn't have. But as far as setup goes, it's definitely similar. It's mostly just different texture, and that's going to depend just a lot on personal opinion. Going on to messaging, you do have threaded text messaging on both phones. I'll show you guys that really quick. It's shown in a little bit different style. So let me go to the menu and messaging. Go to messages. So you'll see the style is just a little bit different. So whereas here it's kind of shown as speech bubbles and everything's kind of offset one from the other, text from one person and text from you, whereas on the Reality it's just shown in a straight line. So, but it is threaded. You do see the different color there, so it's easy to keep everything separated. So you do have threaded text messaging on both phones. Lastly, let me talk a little bit about the battery. The Reality has a 1080 milliamp hour battery, and the View Plus has a 950 milliamp hour battery. So big difference there, and it's definitely something that I noticed. The View Plus, as far as battery goes, definitely underperformed. The battery on standby went dead after 2.5 days, which is really nothing because usually a feature phone or a messaging phone on standby will last 4 or 5 days. I've had some last 7 days. The Reality's battery on standby lasted about 5 days. So going dead after 2.5 days is definitely something that that I wouldn't expect, and that did kind of get in the way, because then when I was using it, when I was working on it or working with it, I'm used to feature phone batteries lasting me a good, day and a half or 2 days while using it. So having to charge it more regularly, it's definitely something that did bother me, something I did notice. And so the battery on the Reality is definitely a lot better than the battery on the View Plus. Now, all of this kind of comes together at the end whenever you talk about price. So, one phone may have a better camera, one phone may have a better battery. They both may be the same as far as the touchscreen goes, performing about the same, web browsing is about the same. But when it comes to price, the LG View Plus is $149 on contract with rebates. That's after you get your rebate, you've still paid $150, whereas the Reality on contract with rebates is only $19.99. And so definitely $20 is a lot better than $150. You're also going to have differences in plans as well. AT&T's prices for their plans are a little bit different than Verizon's prices, and that's pretty much just up to you. But I think for the price, I don't think that the LG View Plus is worth $150. I think $20 for the Reality is definitely a lot better. So anyway, there it is, guys. View Plus, Samsung Reality, $150, $20, AT&T, Verizon. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be sure and check out Phonedog.com for more updates, reviews. I have a review of the View Plus up, and of course, there's a review of the Samsung Reality. It's a little bit older, but I do have a review for this one. So check out Phonedog.com. Go to our YouTube channel if you want to. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Sydney, and I'll see you guys later.